What's going on, everybody? So, the month of May, it's over. May is over. We are now into June. And what does that mean? It means that it's time to take a look at some pickups. See, I've gone back and forth on this. Should I share my pickups when they arrive, one at a time? Or should I do it in a full monthly video? And I just kind of stuck with the monthly video thing. It's more fun for me to kind of show several things instead of just a quick video. You know me, right? Quick video. So instead of several quick videos when cards come in, I've been tending to kind of save them up and then do one pickups video a month. Now, my goal at the beginning of May was to not buy much, like to buy almost nothing. That was the goal. And I'm a complete degenerate. I cannot keep myself from buying stuff. So why wouldn't I want to buy stuff? I'm trying to save up for the National. I want to go in with a decent amount of money at the National where I can buy a big card. Now, some people's idea of a big card and my idea of a big card are obviously much different. But I want to buy a card that's, maybe a couple $1,000 card that I can kind of remember this year's National by. So I'm working on saving some money, and I'm not doing very well. Again, my goal at the beginning of May was like maybe buy one card. I didn't even come close. I bought five cards during the month of May. And I'm going to try again in June to not buy anything or buy like a card, but we'll see. Part of me too is like, well, what's the point of saving money for the National if a card that I want, that I would be looking for at the National, shows up now? Because what I found over the past several years is actually the deals are really good in May, June, and early July because other people are saving for the National. I mean, if there are tens of thousands of people that are going to go to the National and are going to try to save up some money before the National, that's a lot of buyers that are, slowing their purchasing from online auctions down. So, I don't know. I go back and forth. I don't know what the right answer is, but I bought some cards. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my pickups from this month, the month of May. And you're going to see, again, the variety of what I collect. I've got some vintage baseball cards, pre-war baseball cards. I've got some vintage football cards. I even got a non-sport card that I'm super excited about. So let me turn things around and let me show you my pickups, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about a couple of other things after I show you these pickups. Check out what I bought in the month of May.
All right, so the first pickup is this T206 Molly Miller Piedmont back card in an SGC2. And it's a really nice card, and I've been looking for this card for about 2 years. You say, why have you been looking for a Molly Miller for 2 years, Greg? Well, my daughter's name is Molly Miller. And this is a T206 card, which I collect. It's a Southern Leaguer. And I've been looking for one, and I saw this at the local card show and paid $80 for it. You can see at the top, there's a little bit of tobacco staining at the top edge, but I was thrilled to pick that up for $80. It was a great deal. Next, I've got this 1958 Topps Johnny Unitas in a PSA 5. Really well centered side to side. Top to bottom's okay, but side to side is outstanding. It's super clear. A lot of these have print marks. This is his second card. You can see the back is super clean too. His rookie card is the 57. This is the 58. And I've been trying to get his first, second, and third year card of him and Bart Starr. But I just thought this thing was outstanding for a 5. That's a tough grade in my opinion. I just don't see what gave it the 5. So if we look here, I bought this for $107.50 plus some tax, and shipping, I believe, was free on this one. So, about $115 or so, which I think is a fantastic deal for a second-year Johnny Unitas in a 5 that looks much better than a 5, in my opinion. So was thrilled with that buy.
So I wanted to take a quick look. I wanted to stop things and take a quick look and talk about what I did here. So I had a 1958 Johnny Unitas in a PSA 6. And I didn't really like it. I mean, I'll put the card up on the screen here. And you can see in looking at the card that it was pretty sharp. But it was off center enough that it was bugging me. And a card that old, of a player like that, I mean, we're talking about his second card. That's Johnny Unitas' second card in a 6 from the 1950s. It's a fairly valuable card. Now, it's not as valuable as I think vintage football cards should be, but it's a fairly valuable card. So I'm like, I think I'm going to sell it. So I sold it. So I'll show you here on the screen what I sold it for. And then I took the proceeds from that sale and bought one that I like better. A card that I think is a nicer card. Personally, my preferences. And that's the one you just looked at. So I basically sold my 6 for about $200. And with the proceeds, I bought the 5, which I like the looks of better. And in the process of doing that, I added $100 to my card account. This is exactly what I've been trying to say for a while about when PSA grades some cards hard, or SGC gives a tough grade, and you say, oh man, this is a bummer, they're grading cards too hard. Some people look at that as disappointment. They get upset by it. I look at it as an opportunity. It is an opportunity. When PSA grades a card, like the one that I just showed you, the one that I just bought, as a 5, and I can sell my 6 because some people really want a high number, and some people, like myself, just want a card we like the looks of. So because they graded that 5 really tough, I was able to exchange my 6 for what I think is a nicer card in the 5 and pick up $100. If you're not bound by the grade that is assigned from the grading companies, what you're actually doing is you're taking advantage of their system, and you can make it benefit your collection. And that's what I feel like I did here. Let's take a look at some more of the pickups.
So my next one was another T206 card, this time a Hall of Famer. So that Molly Miller was a Southern Leaguer. There's about 48 of those in the T206 set. But this Jake Beckley is a Hall of Famer. I think it's a beautiful card. It's got a 2. The color is fantastic. The centering is fantastic. It's a Piedmont back, which again is a more common back, but that's okay. I collect the fronts, not the backs. And it's a portrait. The portraits of any card are usually sell for a little bit more than the quote-unquote action shots. I saw this listing and jumped at it. I'm trying to put together a T206 Hall of Famer run. I didn't have this one. He's got about 2,900 career hits, career batting average over 300. And he's in the Hall of Fame, and it was $150, which I thought was a really good deal. Usually, T206 Hall of Famers start around $200. But he has something like, 13 seasons with a batting average over 300. I mean, an incredible hitter back in his day. So that was a great buy. And then I got this third-year Bart Starr. So this is a 1959 Bart Starr. The 58s and 59s and 57s, for that matter, tend to have a lot of print marks, but this one just doesn't. Super clean, the pink background. It looks a little high-centered, but that's actually part of it. You can see the football goes into that edge. The border doesn't really start until the tip of the football, so it's actually centered really well top to bottom. Left to right, it's maybe 60-40. And, pretty good back. There's a little bit of marking on that coin rubbing picture area. But I've had a second-year Bart Star for a while. Again, there's the back. You can kind of see that there was a little bit of rubbing on there, which probably brought the grade down a little bit more. It got a 5.5, a PSA 5.5. But I don't know. I mean, I thought this was a fantastic card. And again, I thought I got a great deal on it. It sold for $80 for a third-year Bart Star in a 5.5 grade. 1959 tops. It's his third card. So now I have his second card and his third. I still need his rookie card, and that's on my list. But I'm just slowly chipping away at some of the runs that I've been working on, and was thrilled to pick up that one. And then the last card, yes, that's a Sherlock Holmes card. This card is 100 years old. It's from a cigarette set from 1923. And I think it's awesome. Now, this card I saw the first time at the Fairfield show. In fact, it was on video. And a friend of mine, Brent, he saw it on the video and ended up reaching out to the dealer and buying it. And then he sent me a picture of it. And I'm like, man, that really is cool. I should have bought one. I should have bought it. And so I've kind of had my eye out looking for it since then. And finally found one. I was hoping for one that was centered with good eye appeal. I mean, this is a really good-looking 2, right? That's a really nice 2. Look at that. Paid $63 from CompC. So, I don't know, after taxes and shipping, it was about $75. But, I don't know, I thought it was cool, and I kind of secretively buy some non-sport stuff from time to time. So, really happy to add that to my non-sport portion of my collection. And that's a cool buy.
So what do you think? What was your favorite pickup that I got this month? Was it one of the vintage football cards? Again, I'm not going to try to put together the full run of Johnny Unitas. There's just too many cards. Some of them aren't as interesting to me. But I am going to try to pick up his first, second, and third. And I now have his second and third. And same thing with Bart Star. What'd you think of that card? Now, I now have his second and third. So I just need the rookies. Because, again, for those two guys, I'm not doing the full run. I'm just going to do their first 3. Those are the 3 cards I like the most. Or did you like the Molly Miller, the T206 of the Southern Leaguer, who has a terrific name? Or what did you think of my T206 Hall of Famer that I added to my T206 Hall of Fame collection? Which, by the way, I am currently in the process of working on a video where I'm going to show you all of my T206 cards. I have gotten to the point when I started collecting them about 2 years ago. I finally just said, these are what I really like. I'm going to put a lot of my resources towards this set. I've gotten to the point where I've got about 20 of them. And of those 20, over 15 of them are Hall of Famers. And the other ones that I have, there's a reason why I picked up each of them. So look for that video. Will be coming soon on my pre-war T206 collection. But more importantly, enough about my cards. About yours now. This is the video that I always release whenever I share my video of my recent pickups. That's the video where I launch the submissions for your pickups for the Midlife Community Show and Tell video. So, take a look back over the last month. During the month of May, what is your one favorite pickup that you want to share with the Midlife community? This has quickly become one of my favorite videos that I do each month. And in this video, we get to see what our friends in the card community are buying. Now, each month we've grown a little bit in how many submissions. I think the first one there were about 50. And the last month, I think we were around 80 submissions. I'm hoping we can continue to grow. So submit your cards via the link in the description, which is a Google document. The Google document is going to ask you for your name. It's going to ask you for what the card is that you bought. It's going to ask you for you to upload a picture of the card. And try to make it a good picture, because I want everybody to be able to benefit from seeing a cool picture of your card. So get those submissions in. I'm going to set the deadline for this at June, I think I decided 15th. June 15th is going to be the deadline. That will give me an opportunity to put it together and get it out before the end of the month. So submit those cards that you picked up during the month of May, your favorite submission. I look forward to seeing it. That's one of my favorite videos every month. See you later, guys.